guys, this is dclaiche. So when I was in high school, I took a class that I didn't need to do anything for, and for that class, what I would basically do is just sit around all day and mess with my Rubik's Cube. And of course, I would speed solve and I would time myself, but eventually, you know, I kind of get bored of that, and so I'm just like, well, what else can I do with just a regular 3x3 cube? So I try to figure out patterns and stuff, and one of the patterns that I really wanted to figure out was the cube in a cube in a cube pattern. Now, I know that there are tutorials on the internet that teach you, like one algorithm that you can do to do the cube in a cube in a cube pattern, and you can do it on just about any n by n by n puzzle. But I did not have access to YouTube at school, and I wanted to figure out the pattern, so I just kind of figured it out intuitively. And in this video, I'm going to be basically showing you guys how I figured it out. So yeah, let's get to it. Alright, so one of the first things that I knew I was going to need to figure out how to do in order to do the cube in a cube in a cube pattern is I knew that I was going to have to figure out a way to switch these three edge pieces. So this edge piece needs to go right here with the white facing this way. This edge piece needs to go right here with the white facing this way, and this piece needs to go up here with the orange facing this way. So I know one algorithm that's able to switch around three edges, and that is the U-perm. So I set it up to where it would be a U-perm if I switched them around, and I figured out that if I was going to get the edges in the correct place that they need to be for this pattern, I was going to have to do the UB-perm. So that would be this one. And now I'll put it back, and they would be all in the right place, and now it's just a matter of permuting them correctly. So I figured it was these two edges that were going to need to be flipped so that you would have two whites on this side, two greens on this side, and two oranges on this side. So I set it up to where the two edges that needed to be flipped were opposite each other, and I did this this flipping algorithm. And then I put them back, and just like that, you've got the edges in the right place. Now the next thing you need to do is you need to do that for the other side. So you set it up again. Now it's these three edges that need to go in the right place. So you set them up, and for this one I realized, okay, hold on. If I'm gonna get this right, I need to do the opposite algorithm. So I do a U, A, and then I put it back, and then I flip these two, so set them up, and flip them, and just like that, you've got them done. Then I knew really the only thing that I would have to do left is do the dot pattern on the 3x3, so I would have to put the center right here, so I would flip them around like this. As you can see, that pretty much gets it almost done on both sides. Now the next thing you have to do is flip this corner so that the green is on top, and flip this corner so that the blue is on top, and it's very simple to do. You just do a B2 like this, and then you do the sexy move from here. You do it, well, this is reverse sexy move, just like that, and then you bring this one over here, and you do the opposite of that sexy move. Then you put it back, just like that, flip it around, and you've got the cube in a cube in a cube pattern. I also figured that it would be pretty easy to do the same thing on a 2x2. You just have to do the last step that I mentioned. So you bring this around, you orient the corners in the correct way, and then you've got the, well, actually, hold on. And then you've got the cube in a cube pattern on the 2x2. Now, of course, if you just want to do the regular cube in a cube pattern on the 3x3, what you do is you rotate the corner so that it's parallel to this 2x2 block, and you've got the cube in a cube pattern on the 3x3. Now, of course, doing it on higher order puzzles was a little bit more difficult for me to figure out. For the 4x4, basically what I did was I treated it like a 3x3, and I just did what I did right here. Just like that. And I realized next that the only thing that I was really going to have to do in order to get the pattern correct is treat this 4x4 like a 2x2, like how I did it on the 2x2. So I would rotate these two layers up here, so you've got the two corners that need to be flipped right next to each other. You do the flipping algorithm for them.
flip this back, and just like that, you've got the cube and a cube and a cube and a cube pattern. Now, of course, there's one more puzzle that I need to be able to do this on in order to be able to do it on basically all puzzles, and that is the 5x5. So the first thing that I did was I did the cube and a cube and a cube pattern just like I did on the 3x3 with the outer layers. So there you go, you got it just like that. And then I would take this 2x2 corner right here and this one right here and flip them around just like I did on the 4x4. So. Alright, now in order to do the last flip, what I needed to do was basically everything I did on the 3x3, however, instead of treating these three edges as one edge and just the corner as a corner, what I did was I treated this 2x2 section as a corner and this section right here as an edge, so only using double layers basically. And I basically did exactly what I did on the 3x3. And I also have to flip these corners again, so. And I also have to flip this corner again just so I get the pattern right. And just like that, you've got the cube and a cube and a cube and a cube and a cube pattern on the 5x5. And you can basically follow that pattern with just about any layer cube. So one of the other cool things that I figured out while figuring out this pattern was I figured out how to do a really cool checker pattern, which I'm going to show you how to do. So the first thing that I did was flip these three edges around on both sides, and then I held it like this, did a U2, L prime, and then I did a reverse U perm, and then I undid the setup moves, and I flipped these two edges, so set them up like this, and then did the flipping algorithm, and then I undid the setup moves. I came over here with yellow on top, green in front, and I did an L prime, and then I did a forward U perm, so I did this, undid the setup move, and then I noticed I was going to have to flip these two edges, so I set them up, flipped them, undid the setup moves, and then I realized I was really close to the pattern that I wanted to set up. So really at this point, there are only 4 edges that I need to move in order to finish this pattern. This one, this one, this one, and this one. So in order to put them in the right place, I just held it with white in front, blue on top, with these 2 edges that need to be flipped in my left hand, and I did an R2, B2, and then I did an H perm. And then I undid the setup moves, B2, R2, and you've got this really cool checker pattern. Another cool thing I figured out that I could do from here is do the dot pattern from here, and you got this really nice cross pattern all over the cube. Also, if you do the checkerboard pattern on this checkerboard pattern, you get an even cooler looking checkerboard pattern.
So yeah, that's how I figured out the cube and a cube pattern along with all those other patterns by myself. If you guys like this video, then give it a like. If you think that there was a better way that I could have figured it out, then tell me in the comments. But other than that, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Please come back next Wednesday for another video for you from me. And this is dclaiche saying goodbye.